I'm basically going to be, through many, many series, telling the entire history of this broken world that I've created. So the last Montmorency saga is the first one I'm publishing, but timeline-wise, in the broken world, it will be the final.
To start off, I want you to know that I actually recognized you from the 100s. I saw that you were in the first season, and I remember that episode because it actually made me cry. It was like 10 years ago, and that whole storyline made me cry. So I saw that you had credits going back to, I think, 2011. So, I just wanted to start off by asking how your roles have changed over that time and, what were the challenges of acting at such a young age?
I think the main thing that was challenging is there's not many roles for kids that are actually full-fledged beings. We're there as props a lot of the time. So I was lucky I got the opportunity to be in a few projects where I had a full character and I was a true person instead of just, oh, she's a 7-year-old kid here to make her dad look more appealing to this woman type thing. Which obviously you need those characters, but it was definitely being seen as an actor and as someone who took this seriously and actually wanted to do this, not just, a little kid, was an interesting balance.
How was working with Bob Odenkirk?
Yeah, so Bob Odenkirk is absolutely amazing, as I'm sure everyone knows. I really look up to him as an actor because he's so human in his roles. Even if, he's feeling really out there emotions, they just look so natural and real and like he's actually feeling them, which is, our greatest job as actors. That's what we're supposed to do. So I was quite a little bit starstruck when I was working with him. When he walked in the green room, there was definitely that moment of, oh my God, that's Bob Odenkirk. I sort of kind of managed to play it off, not really, but the whole experience of Lucky Hank was just absolutely amazing because there's so many incredible actors on it and the writing is amazing. The directors are amazing. And so being part of the show is a dream come true.
Well, were you a fan of his other work? Like, were you a fan of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul?
Absolutely. I love shows that, I like a good drama, but like I said before, I like shows with good acting. That's obviously what, as actors, we need to seek out. That's one of the best ways to learn is to watch others perform the craft masterfully. So his performances and his acting is kind of one of the best ways to learn.
Well, is there anything that you can tell us about your character? Anything you can share? You play Ava, correct? That's your character's name?
Yes, so I play Ava. She's a student at the school, and she joins a committee to avert mediocrity, but she has some ulterior motives for doing that are kind of hilarious, and I'm just really excited for everyone to get to see that and get into her character.
Well, what do you really love about the series as a whole? What do you think is really going to set it apart?
I think the humanness of it. It's set in a small college. We're just watching this professor kind of deal with all aspects of life and life not going where he planned it, from it being, his coworkers to his home life to his students. And we're just watching humans go through these things. We're not, watching this overly dramatized piece of fiction. It's sort of real and grounded, even though it is still hilarious.
Well, like we talked about earlier, you've been in quite a few projects throughout the years. So do you have an all-time favorite role that you have ever played?
Ava is definitely one of them, I'm going to be honest. And then I'd probably say being in Everything Will Be Fine was the other highlight of my career, with Wim Wenders, because he's such an amazing filmmaker and established and also just such a kind person. And I got to film that in Montreal, so it was a nice little travel.
Well, if you could play any character, either in an upcoming movie or show or in a past movie or show, who would you want to play? Do you have a dream role?
I mean, right now, my dream role is probably to be in my own work. I want to act in a film adaptation of my book that's coming out, would probably be my dream role.
Yes, I saw that you had a book coming out. So, have you always wanted to pursue writing, or was this something that happened in the last few years?
I've always loved storytelling, but never really saw myself as a writer because I honestly didn't think that I was good enough, which is a big theme in my book is, not feeling like you're ever enough and not feeling like you're special and feeling like you're average. And I think that's something a lot of teen girls really face and something I definitely have been supported through fiction and hope to do that for other girls. And I think it was inspired by a dream, and the writing itself of the book kind of was what made me realize, oh, wait, I can do this because I never planned for it to be a book, which is kind of funny that I created a novel on accident. But honestly, it was my escape from reality. It was sort of fan fiction for my dream that then when I finished turned into this fully formed novel of original work that I was like, oh, wait, I can't just not do anything with this now.
How long ago did you start writing this then?
So I did the first draft when I was, I think 15 or 16 when I was 15. And so I've spent the year since, it's been a long time in the making because I spent the year since then growing as, a human and a writer and doing draft after draft after draft, querying, getting responses from the queries that make me do more edits, querying again, doing the whole process over again, until eventually it was in fully formed shape. And I was able to say, okay, does anyone want this once again? And landed with my publisher.
Well, is there anything else you can share about Stars and Swashbucklers? I know this is a saga, right? I think I saw it was a saga.
Yes. So it's going to be 7 books. With 4 planned spinoffs so far, but I keep coming up with more ones about the characters and also many, many prequels. It's set in a fantasy future. It's a young adult novel where Earth has shattered and now it's just islands floating between the stars. Don't ask me how that's scientifically possible because it's not. That's where the fantasy piece comes in. And basically it follows privateers sailing between the stars instead of the ocean. So we have all our mystical ocean creatures, but they just reside in the stars now. And it follows Anya Marcox, who is an average girl, as she is stuck in class 2 aboard a cruise airship and learns about this seedy underworld searching for a mysterious relic and ends up caught in the middle of that. And I'm basically going to be, through many, many series, telling the entire history of this broken world that I've created. So the last Montmorency saga is the first one I'm publishing, but timeline-wise, in the broken world, it will be the final.
Was there something that sparked that idea in particular? That's a really interesting concept.
I'm going to be honest, I have a very active imagination and a very active subconscious because when I go to sleep, I have full-on action movie dreams pretty much every night. I have very, very vivid dreams. And so writing the book was, I think of it less like writing and more like transcribing, to be honest, because the story was given to me fully formed by my subconscious. All I had to do was sit in front of my computer, kind of draft up an outline, and then just watch when I was a kid, I used to always say I was watching movies in my eyes because I've always been telling stories to amuse myself. And so I sort of just sat in front of a computer now and watched a movie in my eyes and typed it down.
I mean, I feel like that's the best thing you can ask for as a writer. It comes to you in your dreams.
Yeah, I got the easy part of that. I've got, honestly, I only started because I have too many stories playing around up here. I was like, if I don't start now, I'm never going to get these down.
I love that. That makes the best writers. See, amazing. Well, lastly, I also saw that you have a composer credit, it looks like, for a video in 2021. So how involved are you in the musical world?
I love singing. I love musicals and all of that stuff. And I definitely do a lot of songwriting. Not much of it is out there because it's sort of my diary. I treat it kind of like all my emotions just get blurted out there. But I did write a Christmas song a while ago with some friends. So that was released in 2021. So that's the only song that I have out there, but I do have a lot sitting in many, many notebooks that are waiting to come out when I'm a little bit older, probably, and more removed from the emotional aspect.
Oh, amazing. So you do want to maybe pursue that a little bit someday?
Absolutely. Right now, I'm too busy with, dance and acting and writing, but songwriting and singing is very therapeutic for me, and I love it. So that's definitely something that I want to add into my career at some point.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is all I have for you. Whoa, and that was 10 minutes exactly. That's like perfect timing. Cool.